It's a story about two women, one in the present day with a very recent past and one in the 20s, 30s, 40s and beyond.
I loved the way the script flip-flopped between a modern-day story and a period story, and that the two kind of mirrored each other and kept pace with each other.
Definitely M's process in the beginning was very much about, reading, education, learning, absorbing this world.
To create this look of this film, we read tons of books, saw tons of pictures, and of course a lot of blueprints of other films.
There are books that Madonna used when she was writing the script, books of the letters, and they're amazing, they're just fascinating.
It's refreshing to read a script that has such strong, interesting female characters at its centre.
I think it's unquestionable that the film is female strong in the sense that the leads are both female and that the director's female.
Okay, ladies, are you ready? Perfect.
Good.
Check the gate.
What I liked about the script was the way that it was written. It kept the period flashbacks very real, very honest, very immediate.
Seeing an historical figure through the eyes of a modern-day woman, and then on the flip side, being able to relate to a woman in the late 1930s who was about to potentially become a queen.
I thought it was a very fascinating take on a very interesting chapter in the British monarchy's history and that very human quest for true love.
There's always certain things that attract you to a film, the story, the character, the creative team. So for me, the story, about the search for love, about the journey of one's soul, I think is a beautiful tale to tell.
I was always fascinated by the story of the Duke and the Duchess. Every time I'd go out to dinner, I'd bring up their name at a dinner party, and it would be like throwing a Molotov cocktail onto the table. Suddenly, the table would erupt, and everyone would get into an argument about who they were. As I read their story, my feelings toward them kept changing. One minute I was, enthralled and swept up in it, and then the next minute I was kind of irritated with them and thinking of them as superficial. And then the next minute I thought, oh my God, they're human beings like all of us. This guy gave up the throne. What drove him to do that? If it was for a woman and if it was for love, what did this woman have?
Andrea Riseborough has 50 costume changes in this movie. James D'Arcy has 30. Abby Cornish has 40 costume changes. It's just a hungry movie for costumes. We have so many costumes. So every day on set is a fashion moment.
Turn over. Hey, camera.
Yeah. Action.
As you can see, I'm not quite as chic as Andrea is in the film. She had her own style, Elizabeth, and it sort of lived on for generations.
There's a scene in our film where Queen Elizabeth is having a hat fitting. When I read the script, I said, oh my goodness, Stephen Jones has got to play this part.
And he got the money and he got the talk and the fancy walk just to suit New York. It's love, it's love alone, cause King Edward to you can take me throne, you can take me crown, believe me, Miss Simpson to renown. He says it's love alone, cause King Edward to lead the throne.
One of the things that I love, that I'm obsessed with, is camera movement. Because my training is originally as a dancer, when I thought about choreographing the Steadicam, you have to rehearse it. It's an animal. It's a creature that lives on the set.
You need to see him shoving her. She doesn't want to go. I want to see her knees.
There's a lot of movement in my film, which wasn't necessarily intentional, although a lot of the movies that I was inspired by had a lot of movement, camera-wise. I also didn't know it at the time, but now when I watch the movie, I say, wow, there's a lot of dancing in my movie, but I also wasn't conscious of that when I was writing the script.
Come a roll up on my mind. I cannot leave Miss Simpson behind.
So there's actual people dancing, and then in in some respects, there's a sort of lyricism and a lot of movement to the camera.
Met one on Today I'll mix your mood. Feel the lifestyle, feel the music. Met 107
For life and music.
Some people called it the greatest love story of the 20th century.
What are you thinking about?
What it must feel like to be loved that much.
Are all American girls such good dancers?
I wouldn't know, sir. Haven't danced with many.
Happy birthday, Wee. Who's Wee?
Wallace and Edward.
I have never known one person so utterly possessed by another as he was by her.
He's rather serious about her, Your Majesty.
What do you mean, serious? She's a married woman.
Your family will never stand for it. The Prime Minister won't stand for it.
He'll not give up the throne.
And I will be the most despised woman in the world.
Have a good night, Miss.
Mrs. Winthrop.
I don't understand your obsession with the Duke and the Duchess.
Little girls love fairy tales.
How do you know they lived happily ever after?
I read that you kept a collection of letters. I think it's important to tell the story from her point of view.
London South stands stunned. King Edward VIII prepares to publicly renounce his throne.
I have found it impossible to discharge my duties as king without the support of the woman I love.
The whole world turned against her, but she never backed down. She survived.
When are you going to start living your own life?
Darling, they can't hurt you. Unless you let them.
วีคือตำนานรักระหว่างสาวสวยชาวอเมริกันที่มีความคิดล้ำสมัยและเคยผ่านการหย่ามาแล้ว2 ครั้งวอลลิสซิมสันและกษัตริย์เอ็ดเวิร์ดที่8แห่งอังกฤษเป็นรักแท้ที่ผู้หญิงทั้งโลกไม่อยากลืมแต่คนอังกฤษกลับไม่อยากจดจำจนทำให้จดหมายรักที่เอ็ดเวิร์ดเขียนหาวอลลิสโดยใช้ชื่อย่อว่าวีเก็บรักษาไว้และไม่ถูกนำมาเปิดเผยให้คนทั้งโลกได้รู้ว่าเบื้องหลังรักแท้ที่ยิ่งใหญ่จะมีคำว่าเสียสละซ่อนอยู่เสมอมาดอนน่ามีโอกาสได้อ่านจดหมายที่เอ็ดเวิร์ดเขียนหาวอลลิสเธอใช้เวลาเขียนบทหนังเรื่องวี2 ปีและอีก1 ปีในการแต่งเพลงมาสเตอร์พีซเพลงประกอบภาพยนตร์ด้วยตัวเองทั้งหมดนี้เธอบอกว่าไม่ได้ทำหนังเพื่อหวังรางวัลหรือคำชมแค่ใช้หัวใจทำเพราะว่าจะดีแค่ไหนถ้ามีใครรักเราได้มากเท่ากับเอ็ดเวิร์ดรักวอลลิสและเมื่อมกราคมที่ผ่านมาเวทีลูกโลกทองคำตอบรับความกล้าและทุ่มเทของเธอด้วยการที่หนังสามารถคว้ารางวัลลูกโลกทองคำในสาขาเพลงประกอบยอดเยี่ยมมาได้สิ่งที่โดดเด่นที่สุดในวีคือคอสตูมและฉากเต้นรำ หนังเต็มไปด้วยแบรนด์เนมดังๆและเสื้อผ้ากว่า200ชุดเครื่องประดับมูลค่าหลายล้านเหรียญตบท้ายด้วยฉากเต้นรำเพื่อสื่อความรู้สึกของตัวละครทั้งหมดนี้คือความหมายของความรักที่จะทำให้โลกต้องหันกลับมามอง9 กุมภานี้เฉพาะ Paragon Cineplex House RCA และ SF World Cinema เท่านั้น
Welcome back. The Golden Globes for 2012, the Arrival Special. Andrea Riseborough to my left from the film We. Of course, we all know Madonna. Good to have you both, ladies. You look beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
How you doing, Madonna?
I'm good. Do you really think we look beautiful?
Thank you. You look fantastic. Your buddy Elton John was just here.
Was he?
Yes, and he had...
Wearing a green dress?
No, he's not, but he had a choice word for you about the category that he's up against you. He said you don't have an effing chance.
Oh, damn him. Those are fighting words. Those are fighting words.
I said that. He said, no, those are actual words.
Okay, well, may the best man win.
Lots to talk about with you. Let me ask you selfishly about this project first. The song Masterpiece. Tell me a little bit about it.
Well, I vehemently protested the idea of writing a song for the film because I kept telling my manager, Guy Oseary, that I wanted to focus on being a filmmaker, not a songwriter. But when I finished editing the film and I was working on my record, somehow I kept thinking about the movie and your face kept popping into my head in the story, and the song magically came out of me. So I didn't question it, I didn't refuse it, I just let it come. And I feel like I didn't really have anything to do with it. It was sort of divine inspiration.
Well, it's fantastic. Good luck tonight. Good luck at the Super Bowl halftime, and good luck with the new record.
Thank you. I'll need it.
Yeah, nice to see you too, Andrea. Pleasure. Natalie, back to you.